So today my brother and I are working on our irrigation system. We're going to keep it simple and straightforward using poly and some valves to control where the water's going. The long-term goal of the system is to give me control from the spigot, so when I do have to water, I'm not wasting any water or time. We don't have to water too much, but there is times in the summer where we go a little bit without rain. Plus I have greenhouses and chickens that are always going to need water. Right now I have 2 zones, and when I want to change the watering zone, I have to walk into the garden to turn a valve, and I want to set this up so I can do that all from up top right by our spigot. Alright, manifold's all hooked up. I'm going to turn the water on, see if it holds water, and then if water's coming out of each of these tubes. If everything looks good, I'm going to start hooking them up. Guess it works. Alright, we got everything hooked up. Just did a trial run and it's not working out. I'm gonna have to order a different adapter. I thought I could get away with it, but it's just not working, so I'm gonna get this done in 2 days or so. I can't do any more irrigation until I get that valve, so I'm gonna move on to the garden. I've kind of neglected it the past couple days because I've been building our chicken tractor and our brooder, everything like that, getting set up for our 50 chicks, which are showing up today or tomorrow. I'm gonna get in the orchard and get that mowed. Got a lot done the past couple days. I kind of let my orchard and my garden and my blueberry patch all kind of get away from me. They were all pretty overgrown, and I was able to mow the orchard, weed everything in there. Same thing with the blueberry patch, mowed that, weeded all the berry bushes, and I got the garden cleaned up. I'm still gonna get in the garden tomorrow and harvest some carrots, chip everything, and plant and weed some more. I got everything kind of caught up. I was just pulled in a lot of different directions this past week with building our pole barn. That took a couple days, and we had to move our chickens out and get them set up to free range and all that. They're doing really well. They seem really happy. That just got them in their coop for the night, and they're starting to get acclimated to their new home and their schedule and everything, so all's good there. Not only was I working on these chickens and our pole barn, but I was getting everything set up for our meat birds, which are in the mail. They're going to be arriving soon, and I am ready for them, so that's good. I'm just glad I was able to get back into our garden and our orchard, and especially our blueberry patch, and get everything cleaned up and back to where it should be. I got our tomatoes clamped to our trellis, all the ones that are tall enough. I'm definitely learning that next year I need to plant them closer to the trellis so they don't have to reach as far for them to connect to the trellis. I also harvested some radishes and planted a bunch of beds over there. I replanted some beds that had beets in them and some buttercrunch lettuce. We're just not going to do buttercrunch anymore. It's just not as good as romaine or iceberg in our opinion, so we're just going to, moving forward, we're probably just going to go with something that we can grow better than buttercrunch. Also, with our beets, some animal got in there. I'm not exactly sure what it was. I think it's a woodchuck, but who knows. I'm gonna put a trail cam out to see if it comes back and to see what part of the fence it gets in, if there's a weak spot anywhere. Yeah, so that was a bummer. I harvested half of them last week, and I left like the other half that were still growing and that were almost to being harvested in there, and whatever the animal was got them all. So that's a bummer, but I got all that replanted with carrots, and I put some more radishes and romaine in, so all is good there. So our buttercrunch that we planted them too close together, first of all, and the weeds just kind of took over. A lot of grass in there, and we just decided to give it to our chickens in here. That's like one of the coolest things about having chickens now is anything I take out of the garden, I can just walk over here and give it to them for food, and they can forage through it and build some compost. That's one thing I have to do in the next coming weeks is get my compost systems built in here. I'm gonna put some logs in the ground and weave some sticks in between them to kind of form a wall, and I need to get that going ASAP because I'm dumping food scraps in here every day for them, and I'm dumping stuff from the garden that I pull out, and I'm gonna put some leaves in there and some grass clippings because I'm mowing constantly, especially these past couple of days, and I just want to have all of that organized and put into its final place so the birds can go through it and start adding manure and picking any bugs out of it that they find. But yeah, a lot of stuff in our garden and orchard is looking really good. I have a lot of apples coming in. The grapes, there's a ton of grapes on our arbor, and the raspberries are just an overgrown mess. They're coming in, they're gonna be harvesting very soon. They're just starting to turn red, and that is just gonna be an entire day of harvesting those things. I think I'm really gonna have to thin out the canes that produce this year and get them cut once I harvest, so it thins them out and I can get them trellised for next year. Peppers are looking really good in the hoop house. The tomatoes are looking really good. They have a lot of flowers coming in, and I'm going to be harvesting carrots tomorrow, and there's just a lot of stuff happening here. So subscribe, follow me along in this journey. I'm trying to grow all my own food, and this is year one, getting everything built, and in the next coming years I'm going to be utilizing all the systems I'm setting up this year. So if that interests you, follow along. I'd appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.